Hi there. I thought it might be quite nice if we had a little bit of a series just going into some more detail about what is wellness coaching, who it could benefit, how it's maybe different than life coaching. And so, in this series, starting today, I'm going to give you some tidbits. And if you don't already know, my name is Jill, and I am most definitely a wellness coach. Um, I like to think of wellness coaching as a profession that attracts skilled helpers, and skilled helpers are people who are just naturally empathetic and kind, really good listeners, and just have kind of a knack for connecting with people on a really human level. And then when you combine those traits, whether they're like a personality trait or whatever you want to call them, with some really solid knowledge and skills and application and or experience in different wellness settings, such as myself, you kind of have a packaged deal where I am able to draw from all of my different kind of interests and passions and experiences, and then make a cohesive connection between all of those aspects of it and delivery of connection to you in a really collaborative manner, if that makes sense. So I know that's not maybe a textbook definition of wellness coaching, but it's certainly my perspective on it. If you want a textbook definition, I'm sure you could go to Wikipedia or somewhere and gather that, but that's a bit dry for my liking. So the essence of wellness coaching is, in my perspective, to provide a safe place for you to have a collaborative, meaningful conversation related to your health. And the kind of overarching goal or intention of that conversation is to ultimately take some kind of action that supports your health, that is most definitely aligned with your core values, and then to come back into the coaching setting again and reflect on that experience, and then go and make changes and adjustments as needed, and then just repeat the entire process. And so I won't go into it too much right now in detail, but that maybe brings up the question then, how long would you ultimately work with a wellness coach? And really, it's so varied. I mean, it could be like a one-off session just to get kind of unstuck, or if you just like the support, it could be an ongoing lifelong relationship, really, as a grounding person in your life to check back in with on a weekly or semi-weekly or monthly basis to go, right, can I bounce these ideas off of you and figure out how to move forward? So again, it's a collaborative, safe environment to have conversations related to your health. And I feel like there's not as many opportunities to have those conversations as would be ultimately beneficial. They certainly don't happen in the doctor's office, in my opinion. That side of health or wellness, if you want to call it that, is certainly overstretched and spread so thin. And even right now, and through the pandemic, that's just not the right forum. They don't have the right time, energy, or attention to give you. So what that setting can give you perhaps is some objective data, which brings me to my next point. And that is that I view wellness coaching as kind of a blend of subjectivity and objectivity. So for example, if you have maybe been to your physician or even just at home and gathered some data for yourself, maybe it's your weight from the scale, maybe it's blood pressure or cholesterol data, and you are feeling downright really, really like pretty depressed about it and overwhelmed about what next steps to take that aren't going to self-sabotage. And you pretty much feel like you're having an out-of-body experience about how to go forward in a way that has any kind of alignment with your core values. And for that sake, if you don't even know what the hell your core values are and you've never taken the time to identify them and kind of judge all of your habits and actions in your life against what those core values are, then that's a whole can of worms that we can unpack as well. And most definitely, I do that with clients. So I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, sorry, but I think what I was trying to say is that it is kind of nice to have a more subjective component to that objective data. So, for example, let's just pick weight. If you maybe weighed yourself or went to a doctor's appointment and weighed yourself and are unhappy with that objective data, and then we have a coaching conversation about that data that maybe starts off in a really heightened stress response, and we have the time to unpack that together and come to a place that feels much more grounded for how to approach that. So maybe you decide that it is within your core values that you want to be more physically active, for example, that you value that and you're actually not doing it. And so that can have real impact on how you feel about yourself. The weight is secondary, and just the impact that you feel from not taking action on things that you value is primary. So if you can get the inertia oriented in the direction of being aligned with what you value as primary and the number on the scale is secondary, it most likely will change. It might not, but even if it doesn't, those health behaviors are so much more important than that objective piece of data. I mean, you could change that objective piece of data in 100 different ways, and 98% of them probably don't have staying power. Or you could make some real impactful, small, simple habits that over time have a cumulative effect on your health, your physical health, and probably your weight, but also on just the way that you feel about this yourself and the way that you value yourself and your relationship to yourself, because you have, you know, called yourself to task essentially and done what you said you were going to do. So that's kind of the blend of the subjective and the objective components of coaching, I feel like. And then I also feel like wellness coaching is quite broad. So I have like all these interest areas. So yes, I am a certified personal trainer, and that could be one aspect of wellness coaching, but I kind of experience wellness coaching as like the overarching umbrella. And then there's these other skill sets that come underneath it. So it's much broader than just personal training or working with maybe a nutritionist, or it's inclusive of things like your personal and professional development, your spirituality, stress management. It even includes how you're relating to and caring for your physical environment, how you are interacting in relationships, and how you communicate with people, and how you communicate with yourself for that matter. And so those are all kind of really broad things that could not get addressed in a setting where there's not that breadth. So as far as where to begin and where a coaching session normally begins, as far as exact content area, it's really determined by the client, by you, and by your needs. There's certainly a good bit of groundwork that's done, just kind of making sure that you have, if you've not already done so either independently or with someone else, identified your core values and just kind of have a little bit of clarity about where you would like to begin. But you know what? It takes real courage to take action to hire a skilled helper such as a wellness coach. And so if you take action and you do that, then part of what the coach's or myself's job is to have that collaborative, safe conversation with you to help identify where is the best starting place. So I hope that that makes sense. And that's just kind of my perspective again on wellness coaching and my experience as to what wellness coaching is from my own perspective. So I hope that helps you, and I will be back again really soon to share another little nugget with you about wellness coaching. Take care, and bye for now. If anything I've shared today is resonating with you and you would like to see for yourself what it's like to work with me, I offer 15-minute pressure-free virtual taster sessions that can be booked directly on my site at hillwithjill.com/bookings. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.